Difficulties again. I think some of it's beyond our control here this evening, but Nitro has it 3rd down and 3 as they throw a quick screen out to the far side, complete to Thompson. He'll get upfield for another 1st down, and that could bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, Dwayne, as they've just continued to lean on Chapmanville and lean and lean. And I think you're starting to see Chapmanville start to crumble a little bit.
Yeah, I saw a big play by Burnett from the Wildcats to start this drive off, and they're just leaning on their strength right now, and they're trying to wear out this Tigers defense. And you can't fault the Tigers defense for starting to wear out. When you have the size and the skill on you, there's only so much you can do. But they will keep fighting, and they'll definitely need some sort of turnover, Chris, coming up in the 4th quarter.
We head to the final 12 minutes, and Nitro leads Chapmanville 24-7 here in the state semifinals. We'll be back after this as you're watching right here live on the D&D Sports Network.
Come on down to Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia, and let us fill all your shopping needs. It's the holiday season. Don't be left without a gift to give. We got 90-day layaway, delivery. We got the best prices around. We will beat anybody's prices. We have a little bit of everything for everyone. 7 days a week we're open, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 6, Friday through Saturday, 10 to 7, Sunday, 11 to 6. Also, come find a treasure in our pallet bins. We got great deals. You never know what you'll find in our bins. That's Treasures Unlimited in Kermit, West Virginia. We look forward to seeing you.
Five times is a charm. Congratulations to the awesome team at Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical for earning its 5th National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction, the only HVAC company in West Virginia to earn our award for 5 straight years.
Start of quarter number 4 here from Nitro High School. Chris Kidd, Dwayne Williams with you. Kevin Jones, our engineer. Grayson Sanders, our statistician. And a fumble right up the middle, and Benji Atkins has it for Chapmanville. So don't turn off the dial yet as Chapmanville gets a pulse back here on the first play of the 4th.
Chris, as we were going to break, I said they needed a turnover, and right on cue, the very next play is exactly what they needed. Benji Atkins recovers the fumble, Chapmanville in business. And while I mentioned Benji Atkins, give a shout-out to Judy Allen. She's watching from South Boston, Virginia. I know when she worked at Hart's Pre-K and 8, she was around a lot of these kids that played for Hart's Middle School and Andy Bender, and she's always watching and trying to find out where to catch some action. So glad to see you on here tonight, Judy.
Well, now Chapmanville gets it 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. They trail it by 3 scores, but not dead yet. Dalton loads up, goes deep down the right side into double coverage, and Ward almost able to come down with it, but Schaefer was right there with him stride for stride. Now Ward is still down along the far sideline. Again, we saw Kovac go down. We've seen Richards go down, and now Ward, another key cog in this Chapmanville team, down after that hard hit. Looked like his leg kind of got caught up under him, too, whenever he was trying to catch up and make that grab.
Yeah, very awkward fall there, tangled up with 2 defenders. And, with a player of Ward's caliber, you can see the attention that Nitro's given him with the safety over top every single play, and just hope, he's battled cramps all year long, so let's hope that's what we got going on now.
And he looks like he's up and okay as he gets an ovation from the Chapmanville side. Again, what a season he's had since transferring over from Mann High School this past season. Well, we want to thank our sponsors again here tonight: Williamson Auto, Freeman Funeral Home, Gino's Pizza, Perry Brothers Pawn Shop, Rebound Physical Therapy, Witt Mobile Home Movers, Giovanni's Pizza of Logan, CJ White Consulting, Giovanni's Pizza of Danville, Foodland, Smell My Tarts, and Bronze Babe, helping us bring you this state semifinal action tonight here on D&D Sports.
Even that play there falls incomplete, but that's the second example where the ball's right there. The double coverage makes it fall short.
Now they flare it out quickly to the far side for Adkins. He'll get upfield for about a 5-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for Chapmanville.
Yeah, we haven't seen that a whole lot tonight from Chapmanville, and that's been their bread and butter all year long, is different types of wide receiver screens, whether it be the traditional type, the bubble, or the tunnel screen. And right there, you just try to get the ball into the playmaker's hands, Austin Atkins. While Trey Ward was out, or even if he's in there, Austin would be number 1 on most teams, and they kind of like to think of these guys 1 on 1A. So get the ball ball on your playmakers, see if they can pop a play because they need a big one.
And Ward back out there now for Chapmanville as well as Dalton fires to the outside. Miscommunication and intercepted by Nitro. Coming back the other way is Burnett with it inside the 30, the 25, the 20, and he's brought down along the Nitro sideline. And that right there could be a backbreaker for Chapmanville, Dwayne.
Yeah, Chris, it looks to be so. You never know what can happen, but that's the last thing they needed, just trying to make a play there. And Burnett making some plays in this second half. He's going up top there to Benji Aggins, trying to let him make a play just a bit out of his reach. And the safety there comes up and makes a play. And when you know a team's going to pass, that gives your defense an advantage. And, you know, Nitro has done a phenomenal job on the defensive side of the ball tonight.
And again, that time it just looked like miscommunication on that. It looked like one route went one way, one route went another way, and looked like Dalton may have even got hit a little bit on that throw. And that right there leads to the interception. And Nitro with a chance to really put Chapmanville firmly against the wall with a score here as Porter will run it up into the line inside the 20-yard line, close to the 16. And it'll bring up second down.
Yeah, Chapmanville's going to have to go all out here to try to strip the ball, try to do whatever. And sometimes that results in missed tackles and touchdowns. But at this point, you're down by 3 scores with less than 11 minutes to play. You got to start taking some chances. You're going to have some fortune bounce your way right now. So Chapmanville's going to have to go all out to stop this.
So it'll be a gain of about 4 for Porter. Second down and 6. Duffy in the shotgun, letting the play clock run down, gives it off to Porter. Porter, nice cut in the hole that time, gets close to the first down. As we'll see where they spot it inside the 15-yard line. And again, that's just what Nitro wants right now. Run the ball for 3-4 yards, hang on to it, no fumbles, no turnovers, and just keep milking this clock.
Absolutely. They're completely fine with even running this down, just get a field goal, just to use that clock along with it, because I don't see them taking many chances at all. We even talked about during the break at halftime is about even in the first half when the game was really close, they played a little bit conservative at times more than we thought. So, but I think you will see nothing but conservative play calling here, unless they want to take a shot to Thompson.
It'll be 3rd and 1 officially here for Nitro as Duffy gives it off to Radcliffe, who's back in. Pinballs off a couple of would-be tackles and gets forward. So he'll have the first down before he suplexes backwards inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal to go for Nitro.
Yeah, even when Chapmanville makes a play in the backfield, like you said, he pinballs around and yards after contact and does what he needs to do to get that first down.
On the carry. Nitro gets the
and again, it's been a lot of things, we haven't seen a whole lot of this year, but again, Nitro's put Chapmanville in a lot of pressure situations here tonight to try and come up with something, and Chapmanville's had a difficult time answering Nitro this evening. And right now, Nitro on the verge of going in and scoring again. They've scored 17 unanswered points since the game was tied 7-7 in the second quarter. Give it off to Radcliffe, right up the middle, busts through, and he's into the end zone, and Nitro is 9 minutes away from Laidley Field now as they tack on another score to make it 30-7.
Yeah, Chris, we saw some players there going for the strip the ball. You can't fault that. The only bright side there is they score with still 9 minutes on the clock, but Chapmanville in a dire situation at this point. They're going to have to score quick, go onside, but Nitro looking very, very strong at the moment.
Strickland on for the extra point, and it's going to be blocked up front by Chapmanville. So no good for Strickland, but it's a 30-7 lead for the Wildcats. We'll step aside and be back after this as you're watching the high school state semifinal playoffs with us right here on the D&D Sports Network.
5 times is a charm. Congratulations to the awesome team at Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical for earning its 5th National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction, the only HVAC company in West Virginia to earn our award for 5 straight years. If you need heating, cooling, electrical work, a fantastic generator, residential or commercial, done right at a fair price by honest experts, remember the name, Precision Heating, Cooling, Electrical. Visit PreciseHeatingCooling.com for an appointment. Precision, the best of the best, again.
Nitro tacks on another touchdown. They now lead at 30-7 with exactly 9 minutes remaining here in this state semifinal. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams here with you. And Strickland set to boot it away here. And again, Chapmanville is going to need a minor miracle right now to try and climb back into this, as they'll return it back along the far side across the 30, and not much further that time for Braden Strange.
I think they gave us a little misprint there, Chris. I think that was
Braden
Strange, but I think that was pretty sure that was Evan Strange, younger brother of Braden, by looking at him. So, unless I'm wrong on there. So Braden or Evan won there, but size-wise it looks like Evan Strange. And Chapmanville just needs to make something happen quick here, Chris. Unfortunately, you see some fans filing out for both sides, but you won't see these Tigers quit on this game. They're going to try to make something happen, but so far this Nitro defense has been playing it safe, keep everything in front of them.
They flared out quickly to the far side for Ward, or Atkins rather. Atkins trying to wait on blocking, gets up towards the 40-yard line before he's driven backwards. It's a gain of about 7. But, yeah, tonight, again, this Nitro defense done just such a good job of limiting anything big. They haven't allowed anything to get behind them. Again, last week against Bridgeport, we saw it over and over again, big play, big play, big play. And tonight, there's just been none of that for Chapmanville.
Yeah, I imagine that has been stressed all week after they watched the film, and they've done a good job at that.
Now it'll be 2nd down and 2 for Chapmanville as Nitro coming again on the blitz, getting rid of it over to Ward. Ward will have the 1st down, just throws a man out of the way, and then gets slung into the Chapmanville sideline for a 1st down.
Yeah, they'll probably have whatever they want underneath to, because the Nitro's playing back in sort of a quarters or prevent style, so they're going to get everything underneath because the clock's your enemy. Also give a big shout out to Paul Williamson. He's always watching D&D broadcasts, so we appreciate him and his family watching all of our broadcasts, so glad to have him on here tonight as well.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out of my own here too. Again, I want to say happy birthday to my father, Danny Kidd.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, 71 today. And again, always been an amazing father, great man. I said he tolerates that I'm his son. So happy birthday, Dad. I love you. And hopefully you get to hear that tonight.
Well, that's great. You're a good man, Chris, so obviously he's raised a good man, so happy birthday.
Yeah, I went up to watch some of the Michigan and Ohio State game with him earlier. It's closer than I got there. It's 10-9, and then it all just fell apart. I said, well, I'm glad I showed up and ruined how close the game this was. As Dalton will throw it up far side. Tough catch and able to be made. As good ball by Dakota. Able to find Austin Atkins inside the 20.
Very nice ball there by Dakota Dalton. A great catch by Austin Atkins. We saw that multiple times last week in Bridgeport. Those type of plays right on the sideline where it's a safe, accurate throw to the receiver. Definitely what they needed, and Chapmanville obviously in a hurry up here.
Down to 7:24 to go. Dalton, quick throw, gets knocked down. Good deflection, and again, that was set up well as Atkins had position that time, but Nitro just once again able to make the play.
Yeah, it's not like these play calls are not what you're looking for. They're just like very good play there by the linebacker coming up there and getting his hands on it, because if he does not get his hands on it, it looks like to be a very good play there, Chris.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers at the 19 of Nitro. Dalton looks to throw, a little fade pattern down the far side. He's got Ward there. He gets hammered and can't hang on. Again, big hit late on Trey Ward that time, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Just a perfect ball laid in there and a big time hit. Couldn't see from my angle what type of hit it was, but it definitely jarred the ball loose on Ward.
And a flag comes out along the Chapmanville sideline. I think this is going to be a flag on Zach Belcher, as looked like he was arguing with the officials over the hit, that it should have maybe been a flag or something else should have been a flag. But
we have a sideline warning against Chapmanville. Go down.
Okay, so it's not going to be a penalty that cost Chapmanville yardage, but Zach Belcher did definitely appear to be having quite a few words to the official. I thought they might have flagged him at first.
Yeah, glad they showed some leniency there, Chris. Looked like, from our vantage point, probably from his vantage point, you probably thought it was a bad hit because of the way his head went back, but it looked like from our angle, kind of a clean hit, just good timing.
Now 3rd and 10, quick throw to the near side to Atkins. Benji Atkins fighting for it inside the 10, and he'll have a 1st down, so it'll be 1st and goal to go for Chapmanville.
You can see these Tigers have no quit in them. A nice screen there to Benji Atkins. You got 2 linemen downfield. I think that was Jackson Toppings and David Browning down there leading the charge with the rest of them. But, they're still playing hard. Austin Atkins in there with a block.
Now Dalton will roll to the high side, looking, fires towards the far side, completes it to Austin Atkins. He extends out, and Austin Atkins in for the touchdown.
Nice ball by Dakota Dalton. Their bread and butter play. Great effort by the senior Austin Atkins, and possibly his last game in a Tiger uniform before he goes on to college to play. Such great effort and great extension. They're not worried about the hit he's going to take.
So now the extra point can bring it back to a 2-score game. And it looks like Chapmanville's going to play for that right now instead of going for 2 right away. And again, not going for 2 until they have to.
I'm always a fan of that strategy, Chris. Do it when you have to. Keep it 2 scores if you can convert this.
I agree. And again, we've seen him fake out of this quite a few times this year too. Let's see, Farrell will put it in the air, and this will be off to the left, no good. And it's just been that kind of night for Chapmanville, unfortunately. 6:50 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this as you're watching the high school state semifinals right here on the D&D Sports Network.
Unfortunately, water, mold, or fire damage can happen to you. Restoration One of Southern West Virginia is available 24/7 to help take the stress out of your mess. Our primary goal is to respond and restore your property back to normal as quickly and safely as possible. When disaster strikes, Restoration One is your go-to cleanup crew. Save our number now in case you need us later. Whether the job is big or small, give Restoration One a call. 304-443-4959.
(30-13). Nitro leads Chapmanville with 6:50 to go here in the fourth quarter of this state semifinal. Chris Kidd and Dwayne Williams with you. As Chapmanville likely try an onside kick here. Trailing it by 3 scores still. And again, it's almost eerily similar to the score of their last trip to the semifinals. Again, 2011 lost 33-13 up at Point Pleasant. And right now we're at 30-13 here in favor of Nitro as they do squib it hard to the near side. Wow, what a leap and what a grab that time by Colton Likens, the senior, in order to get that and keep possession for Nitro.
Perfect timing by Likens there with a very well-executed kick by Chapmanville. You know they always have different formations and different options to do with their special teams. Nice heads-up play and textbook. Get up at the highest point, get the catch, and get down.
So now Nitro will go to work on this clock, and Chapmanville has all 3 of their timeouts, but they're going to need turnovers and all sorts of mishaps for Nitro right now to try and find a way back into this. As Duffy will take it out of the pistol. So you're going to get a heavy dose of Radcliffe and Porter now, and it's Radcliffe on first down out across the 45 to about the 47 for a 4-yard pickup.
Jackson Topping dives through the line and gets it tripped up in the backfield, which results in Keegan Craddock cleaning it up. Nice hustle play by Jackson Toppings. You will never see that kid take a play off. And for a kid who plays both sides of the ball and with what effort he does, just amazing effort. Nice play there by Jackson.
And you see Parks coming off the field again for Nitro. As I'd say Chapmanville's had to do a lot of cutting on him tonight in order to try and get him to the ground as much as they can. And you saw he was frustrated coming off the field. So I'd say he's probably taking a heavy dose of Tigers diving at his legs tonight. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Duffy will hand it off to Radcliffe. Radcliffe out towards midfield, still getting pushed forward. And, boy, they blew that dead a little early. Nitro might have been able to get a few extra yards out of that.
Yeah, just great effort there by Radcliffe because Keegan Craddock comes through in the backfield and tries to trip him up. He doesn't have a full head of steam. He hits the line and keeps powering through.
That might have been one of the better insults I've heard in a while. One of the Nitro fans said, "You're terrible at your side gig."
Hey, we don't know. He could do this full time.
Yeah, you know what? People have said that about me in my side gig here, so I get it. That's why they call it our side gig.
That's right.
3rd down and 3 now for the Wildcats at the 48 of Chapmanville. And they're letting the clock bleed down. They give it off to Radcliffe. Jump steps off the left side. Will have the first down and more, just hanging on for dear life. And able to get him to the ground was Topping. I don't know how Jackson was able to hang on to him with him going at that speed.
He's going that speed. He reaches out with his left hand and grabs. That's a grip strength there. And I just talked about that moments before, the effort that he's showing, and that just shows you the frustration, the want, what he's got there. But literally just saw in a replay here, left-handed, reaches up and grabs and slows him down. It's almost like Radcliffe was pulling a sled behind him and he got worn down.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's one way to get strength in your legs. Just have Jackson Topping hanging off of you the entire way.
I won't do that, Chris.
No, I'm just going to give up immediately and go find like the chips. So 1st and 10, they give it off. Once again, Radcliffe finds a nice hole off the right side. As he gets down to about the 30-yard line, and again, did get word that Princeton knocked off Spring Valley 27-0. So number 2 seed in AAA, Princeton, appears to be on track to a date with number 5 Nitro in the AAA state championship next Saturday night.
On the previous play there, Chris, will make sure to call out Landon Williams there with the tackle. The senior in there coming in late in the game making a tackle. All these guys are still playing hard, but you can see this offensive line is still clicking, even with Parks on the sideline right now.
Yeah, I've actually got a good one on Landon from last week, I'll tell you, after this play. He had one of the more obvious comments I've ever heard as they give it off to Radcliffe. He gets up the middle, and he'll have enough for a first down inside the 25-yard line. Well, I got used to Landon at tennis matches where he's dating one of my girl players a couple for last season or so, but I stopped off at a gas station on the way home last week from Bridgeport, and I forget where it was. It was maybe about 10-15 miles shy of Charleston, and go down. There's just this little Exxon station over there. I get my gas and everything else, and I'm out there pumping, and Landon and his family are there. He goes, Mr. Kidd, what are you doing here? I said, thought I'd get some gas, Landon. He goes, why'd you get gas here? I said, because I was out.
You know what? Decided to drive 3 hours, get some gas.
I was like, why do you think I stopped here, Landon? They give it off here to Radcliffe. Wow, what a spin move by him as he got away at the 20, down to about the 15-yard line. And that'll be a first down. I gave him some leeway, though. I was like, you guys just had a really tough game. I get it. That's like you might have just woke up from a nap in the car.
Yeah, we talked about Chapmanville still playing hard there. Radcliffe and companies continue to play hard as well. Sawyer Dalton in there on the tackle.
We're closing in on 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And again, Nitro has just controlled the line of scrimmage here in the second half. Again, that 7-minute, 10-second drive to open up this third quarter really did suck a lot of the life out of Chapmanville, hoping to come out and make a statement in the third quarter. Nearly got them stopped on a 4th and 7, but Nitro was able to convert as a nice tackle by Craddock deep in the backfield. And it looks like Chapmanville is going to start using their timeouts now.
Chris, you got to look at these young guys making plays. You see the seniors like Benji Atkins in there, but you see the sophomore Keegan Craddock in there making plays. They have so many young guys. You don't want to go ahead and look forward to next year, but the Tigers lose a lot of seniors this year at the skill position. And, Dawson Atkins, one of the leaders on the offensive line, they lose, but they return a lot of young, skilled players that are going to continue this brick-by-brick culture that Zach Belcher has built. So even though this game is not going to work out how they wanted, the future's still bright in Chapmanville.
I definitely agree with that. Again, you get 4 of those 5 offensive linemen back next year. Dalton, just a sophomore this year, will be a junior next year. And whenever you got a good quarterback, a lot of key players like, not saying Ward and Atkins and players like that can be replaced so easily, but a good quarterback tends to make others around him a lot better. And that JV team that was so dominant, you're going to have some of those guys move up. So this is going to be a Chapmanville team still going to be very tough to deal with going forward.
Yeah, you have that offensive line, and then you have that sophomores coming up, led by Dakota Dalton. Of course, there'll be juniors next year. Sawyer Dalton, Keegan Craddock. I know I'm going to miss a lot of these guys if I try to name them all. Got Cooper Perry. He's made plays all over the field this year. So, going to hate to see a lot of these players. We haven't talked, our fault sometimes about players like Evan Witt and Wesley Watts, but they're always in the right spots. They're doing what they need to do. They're physical. They're coachable. And those players will be missed, but thankful to the culture and these seniors leading these guys. They've got guys that can step right in and help next year.
Absolutely. Now it'll be 2nd down and 14 as Chapmanville use their first of their 3 timeouts. They'll hand it off up the middle. Nice little push there for Nitro. Is getting his first handoff of the game is Wyatt Sowards. And he'll pick up good yardage down to about the 10-yard line. As Chapmanville hasn't stopped it yet. As it'll be 3rd down and about 7 now.
looks like Chapmanville might be content right now and just to try to make the stops, just trying whatever they can do. They fought a hard fight. They've had a fantastic season, nothing at all to hang your head about. Like you said, when you tell a culture is right, you can always say good things to come from a program.
Absolutely. It gets to the point where you don't rebuild, you just reload. And Sowards will push forward close to first down yardage as Chapmanville going to burn another timeout here with 1:43 to go. As we'll keep things here with Nitro on the verge of a trip to the state title game.
You have to give credit where credit's due. Nitro came in with an obvious game plan, and they executed it. They definitely executed it. They had a different approach in the second half with that lead. With that 10 quick points there late in the first half, they come out, they're able to control the line of scrimmage and control the clock for the second half.
And again, it's so tough to pull off the type of upset Chapmanville had last week. And then obviously the whole state, you got their attention now, and there was a lot of attention with Chapmanville this week. I'm sure it wasn't the easiest week of practice. Obviously, not making excuses for it or anything. Nitro just played better this evening. But, it's just so tough to come back after the big upset and then to have to get yourself ready again for another big heavy hitter like Nitro. And Nitro, they just came out ready to go here tonight, and like you said, they just game planned so well against this Chapmanville team.
Yeah, they did, and you see it at even the pro level. Teams have tough coming back after a big emotional win, so only imagine at the high school level with one of the biggest upsets in state history. Not making excuses to the nature of the beast, but they've done a great job. That's not the reason of this game. They didn't get too cocky. They came in level-headed. It just wasn't their night.
They'll throw on fourth down to the near side, and they say incomplete, it looks like.
He waved him out of bounds. The side judge out of bounds.
For Thompson, incomplete in the end zone.
So that'll be a turnover on downs, and Chapmanville will take over with 1:37 to go here in the fourth, and perhaps one final drive here this season for the Tigers.
37 left to go in the game.
I'll tell you what, though, that'll be a really interesting matchup offensively next week with Nitro and Princeton. Again, you got two of probably the best receivers in the state, and Mosser and Thompson here going up against each other. I mean, Mosser, the performance he put on against Herbert Hoover in the quarterfinals was unreal. I'm interested to see what he did tonight against Spring Valley.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of talk amongst the fan bases and the statewide. Who's the number one wide receiver? Even tonight when I talked about Thompson, somebody in the comments immediately put Mosser up there. So that's going to be the talk of the game next week.
That's a quick flare to the outside and couldn't hang on to it as Ward had it knocked away from him. And they call it incomplete, so it'll be second down and 10. You start to hear some celebratory music going on along the far way. It may be the Nitro band starting to tune up over there.
Yeah, I think it is. They're tuning up, and some coaches are being showered on the sidelines.
This is not the night you want that kind of a shower.
Absolutely not.
As Dalton, he's going to get hit and sacked in the backfield and right at the 1 yard line, and he's just been under duress all night long as this Nitro front has just been incredible here this evening.
Yeah, this defense knew they had to get to Dakota Dalton with his arm talent and what he's done this season. Going to talking about Dakota Dalton, he was in some discussion as a dark horse in the Kennedy Award after his performance last week. That's very impressive for a sophomore. So Nitro's defense definitely knew what they had to do and put pressure on the quarterback tonight.
That'll be third down and 16 for Chapmanville. They're trapped at their own 1 yard line. Dalton will heave it down the middle of the field, and that'll be intercepted. Picked off by Nitro. Coming back the other way is Schaefer, and he'll get into the end zone. And that will put an exclamation point on this win for the Nitro Wildcats here tonight.
Just trying to make something happen there, Chris. Just that's a throw you don't see him make in other game scenarios. That's what you just have to do. Just try to get that done. And Nitro caps it off with a defensive score, appropriately so because their defense came to play tonight.
Yeah, again, it's been a very, very impressive performance from this Nitro defense. Again, this will be the lowest point total Chapmanville has had all season long with just 13 points. And the defense, I suppose fittingly, gets the final score of this game with the way that they played here tonight. They'll snap it back. Strickland's kick is up and it is no good off to the right. So we'll step aside for one final break and be back after this to wrap things up as you're watching the state semifinals right here on the D&D Sports Network. Final 17 seconds here from Nitro, West Virginia. Chris Kidd, Dwayne Williams with you. 36-13 after that pick six for Schaefer. And now Nitro will kick off one last time here this evening. And they are just 17 seconds away from moving on to the state championship next Saturday night.
Yeah, Chris, this is not the way the Tigers wanted to end this season, but nothing can take away what they accomplished this season. Such an incredible run. You saw the makings of it last year at the end of the season and how they finished the regular season. Nobody expected this team to do this year. And it's going to hurt for a while, but this is something these kids won't be forgotten. These seniors going out, this team as a collectively whole, Zach Belcher, what he is building, it won't be forgotten for some time, Chris, or ever, because we've seen the response from the community, from the students, from fans, even just in Logan County to rival schools, what this has meant to the area. So nothing to hang their head about. It's been a blast with you in the booth, or as tonight out here in the tent. I'm very, very thankful for the opportunity. I've enjoyed every moment of watching this team and being here with you each game.
It has. It's been a privilege to be able to do this on D&D all season long, whether we've been in Kentucky, whether we've been in West Virginia. I said it's been a wild ride all the way up here, absolutely announcing right up until the last game this year, minus the state championships, as Collins takes the run up the middle, picks up about 4 yards, and that will do it here tonight as the Nitro Wildcats knock off the Chapmanville Tigers 36-13 to move on to the state championship against Princeton next week. So congratulations to Nitro here this evening. And as you said, congratulations to Chapmanville, Coach Belcher, and all of his staff for what they accomplished this year. It's like I said, the deeper you get into the playoffs, the farther you go, the more it hurts. But at the same time, you very rarely get opportunities to get into these situations. And all you can ask for in life is an opportunity. And Chapmanville earned this opportunity with everything they did this season and off season. And now you just go back to work and try and see if you can climb the hill once again.
Yeah, we saw the work they put in last offseason. It started very, very early on in the offseason program. Nothing's going to change on that. And like to build off your point, Chris, when the worse something hurts, the more important you know it is. So how impressive it is to get there. So these kids should should not hang their head, hold their head up high. Big congratulations to Nitro. Good luck to them next week. So we'll see what happens in the championship game, Chris.
Again, we want to thank our sponsors again here tonight for helping us bring you all the action pretty much all season, but definitely here tonight as well. Williamson Auto, Freeman Funeral Home, Gino's Pizza, Perry Brothers Pawn Shop, Rebound Physical Therapy, Blessings and Blooms, Witt Mobile Home Movers, Giovanni's Pizza of Logan, CJ White Consulting, Giovanni's Pizza of Danville, Foodland, Smell My Tarts, and Bronze Babe. So again, as we said, we want to thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank Coach Belcher, everybody else from the Chapmanville side, the players, coaches, community, everybody for helping us be a part of this great run for the Chapmanville Tigers this season. And unfortunately for them, it falls one game shy of a state championship berth as they fall here tonight 36-13 against the Nitro Wildcats. So again, I want to thank Grayson Sanders, our statistician. I want to thank Kevin Jones here engineering tonight, Dwayne, big thank you to you for everything so far this season. Hopefully we get to enjoy it in basketball season as well.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you. It's been an honor sitting beside you. You make my part of this very, very easy, but I'm proud to be part of the team.
I tell you what, as much as this hurts, at least we know we're going to be indoors for the next few months.
There we go.
So again, for Dwayne Williams, I'm Chris Kidd saying so long this evening here from Nitro, West Virginia, as Nitro defeats Chapmanville 36-13 to move on to the state championship next week. You've been watching